Hey everyone, it's Miss Chrissy here with KDC competition team dancer Layla Small. Today we're going to start off our makeup routine with a fresh, clean face, making sure that our skin is well moisturized before we add any product on top. We're going to use a cream, liquid, or powder foundation, whichever works best for your dancer. Just make sure it's as close a match as possible to your dancer's skin tone. This is really going to help ensure that there's a seamless blend. We're going to start in the center of the face, work our way towards the hairline and down the neck. You can use any method to apply this. You can use your fingers, you can use a brush, a sponge, whatever works best for you and gives you the best seamless finish. Next, we're going to go in with a concealer. We're going to use a product that's about 2 shades lighter than your dancer's skin tone. We're going to go in on the high points of the face. This is really just going to help bring some shape back to the face under those stage lights. So we're going to go under the eyes, right in the center of the forehead, and right along that jawline. Again, this is just to brighten up the face and bring some shape back to it. Those stage lights are super harsh and can make it a little bit hard to get distinct facial features from your dancer. So this is going to make sure that they are recognizable from that audience. And again, we're just going to go in and blend this in. You can use a brush, a sponge, your fingers, whatever works best for you. Next, we're going to go in and set all of these liquids if you use them with a setting powder. I like to use a loose translucent powder, but a pressed powder, a powder with pigment, any of those are perfectly fine as long as they match your dancer's skin tone. We're going to set this all over. This is going to help make sure that the powders that we're going to apply later on top of the face are going to really blend nicely. Next, we're going to go with a bronzer or a contour. This is going to really help bring shape to those cheekbones. So we want to make sure that we're hitting right underneath the cheekbones in that shadow there and right on the temples of the forehead. Just going in, making sure that's all blended out. We don't want to use anything that's too dark, just a bit darker than your dancer's skin tone. Then we're going to go in with blush. Now, in this clip, I don't pack it on super heavy. I do actually go back and add more later. But remember, this is not everyday makeup. This is stage makeup. So this blush might look a little bit clownish, and that is okay. Underneath the stage lights, it's going to look perfectly natural. You want it to be darker in person. Those stage lights are really going to wash out that color. So we're just going to hit right on the apples of those cheeks and drag it back to the hairline. This is one of the most important steps to making sure that your dancer's facial features can be seen on stage. This next step is another optional one. I'm going to go in and fill in just lightly Layla's eyebrows. This is especially important for our dancers with lighter hair and lighter eyebrows. The eyebrows really help create shape in the face. So if they're getting washed out on stage, that's going to make your dancer look really odd. As you can see, the pencil we were using broke here, but the show must go on. So we stuck that back in, kept trucking along. And I'm just going in and creating small hair-like strokes throughout the eyebrow, trying to make sure that there's a little bit of definition to it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, it's really just going to be seen from far away. Now we're starting in with our eyeshadow. I'm going to go in with the lightest color in this palette. Now, this palette has unfortunately been discontinued. So if you don't already own it, Miss Gabby has found a wonderful dupe. This can be found in the hair and makeup packet with all of the written out instructions for everything. So I'm going to take that light color, put it all over the eye. Then with this light brown, I'm going to take that on a big fluffy brush and we're going to start lightly blending that into the crease of the eye. We want to use windshield wiper motions and small little circles. Just really get into that crevice of the eye. And as you can see, you can start with a small amount of product and really build it up. This is going to help make sure that you get a seamless blend and make sure that you're not going too heavy with the product. So again, I'm going to go on that corner and just go through that crease. Then I'm gonna take these two medium brown shades, medium brown and light brown. I'm gonna mix those together and I'm gonna go right back over that shape, but I'm gonna use a little bit of a smaller brush to focus that product a little bit more into the crease there. This is gonna really help start creating a shadow in that eye. Again, all of this is about creating shape in the face on stage. Again, starting with a small amount of product and building our way up. We're gonna go over each eye, make sure that they match before you move on. And if you find that you're getting any harsh lines, you'll see a bit later that I'm gonna go in with my large blending brush again. Here it is. And I'm gonna use just that lighter color, that lighter brown, and go back over that to really blend out those lines. Then I'm gonna go in with the darkest color, and we're gonna focus that mainly just on the outer corner. So I'm gonna create just a little bit of a V shape there. Once I'm settled with that, I'm gonna, just to blend, take that color just the slightest bit into the crease. As you can see there, I'm only going about halfway through the eye. I'm not taking it all the way in. Just going back and forth, making sure that I'm satisfied with the saturation of the color. And again, going in with that biggest fluffy blending brush just to go over and clear any harsh edges. Then I'm going in with a mix of the light brown, the medium brown and the dark brown. I'm gonna take this on a tiny little brush and just line the underneath of the eye. So right on that lower lash line, you're gonna wanna create a nice deep line, and then you're gonna wanna try and blend it just the slightest bit. Remember, this is all to create shape. This is really gonna help make the eyes pop on stage. Then I'm going back in with that light cream color in the corner, and I'm gonna go in with a flat brush, and we're gonna put this all over the inner corner of that eye. We're gonna drag it onto the lid. This is gonna help brighten that eyelid back up. All right, so as you can see, she has lipstick on now. When we were filming, we got a little mixed up and forgot our eyeliner, so we'll come back to that. But for our eyeliner, I'm only showing it on one eye because it is a slow and steady process, which I recommend you sticking with that mentality. You can use any sort of eyeliner, a pencil, a liquid, whatever works best for you. We're gonna start by creating a very thin line going across the upper lash line. We want to connect that inner corner to outer. Then we're going to create a wing going from the outer corner of the eye up towards the tail of the eyebrow. That's going to really help make sure the direction of your wing is the most flattering to your dancer's face. And you'll see here, I start off, I think I'm finished, then I'm going to have her open her eyes, and I'm going to look at it and see that that is not quite enough for her face shape. I can barely see it when she opens her eyes. So I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna fix that. We're gonna add a little bit more to her wing. And this is a very important process. We wanna make sure that our makeup is flattering our dancers as much as possible. So as you can see, now I'm going in and extending that just a little bit more. Pulling the skin just the slightest bit taut does help a little bit with getting smooth lines. Just be careful that you're not pulling too hard because we don't want to damage our dancer's skin. I'm going to go in with just a little bit of mascara. This is going to help. We don't need anything crazy. This is just to help blend our natural lashes into our false lashes. So just a very light coat. You can do this before or after. Next, I'm going to take the false lashes and I'm going to take them straight out of the package and measure them to her eyes. I'm going to trim them to her size, starting from the outer corner. Then I'm going to apply a line of glue along that, right along the lash line. Once I let that dry for about 30 to 60 seconds to get tacky, I'm going to apply it directly to her lash line. I know it's a bit hard to see here because my fingers are in the way. You can use a tool for these if you'd like. I prefer to use my fingers. And as you can see, I'm going in with both right away. I've gotten quick enough at it where I can glue both and apply both at the same time. But if you're just starting out, I recommend starting with just gluing one at a time and trying to apply one at a time. You want to get that as close to the lash line as possible. Really make sure those corners are anchored down. Then we're going to go in with our lipstick. Now this is a liquid lipstick, so you're going to have a little bit harder of a time controlling it. As you can see, we were having a little bit of a giggle with Layla being 16, almost 17. She typically does her own, so this felt a little odd for us, but that's okay. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna make sure that we cover the entire lip in this lipstick. Now this lipstick, you really want to make sure you let it dry down completely. It's gonna dry down and have no transfer, which is super, super nice, especially considering we've got little ones in costumes that are very expensive. But you have to make sure that you let it dry completely, otherwise it's going to act a little bit strange. So I'm just going in and finishing up that lipstick. It was a little bit of a long process for us today, but that is the full face. Thank you so much for watching.